This is, we're going to sort of bounce a little bit back and forth between just sort of intro to of YouTube in the classroom. We'll do a little bit of just sort of behind the scenes and getting familiar with what YouTube has to offer and what we have access to. And then we'll go in and we'll look in, we'll just sort of explore the app and what's available to you. But the biggest question, and again, this is based on Kim Foley Sharp's presentation in years past as well. Our session goal is to learn how to curate the world's largest learning library by using search, playlist, and your channel. Why YouTube? I mean, is there anyone who has not used YouTube in here? Okay. Okay, yeah, and that's probably primarily the biggest use for it, right? Is collecting those videos and curating something that's going to be used for students or teachers as a playlist of here's suggested videos, here's some resources you can use and view over, or when you're introducing a new lesson or content area, all available in that playlist. We're going to show you some collaboration tools with that, which is really neat. YouTube's inspiring. There you go. We know clips where smooth jazz, positive mood jazz is what we were listening to. YouTube has also the inclusion of 360. If you guys, if anyone has used VR headsets like the Quest or even Google Cardboard, which takes your phone and then splits the screen so it's just a little offset, so you get more of an immersive kind of view. They have a whole library of different 360 videos. This is one of my favorites. I used to teach choir, 11 years of choir over at Sudlow, and this is one that I would always use when I'm kicking off sort of Broadway theater as a unit. But this is a whole Lion King performance of the opening number, Circle of Life. And in certain situations, it might be a one point of view camera. So like if you're a paraglider, or if you're watching a paraglider flying across the side of a mountainside, they might just have that one 360 camera. In this example, they actually have multiple cameras set up throughout the performance. So we actually bounce from person to person. You can see there's a little cursor mouse widget there that you can click the arrows to navigate, or you can hard press on your mouse and your trackpad, and you can move around the point of view and see, okay, there's the conductor, there's the director, right? That's not something you see as an audience member. In this viewpoint, you get to see people coming in from the wings, you can see people getting ready, getting prepped. So again, it offers you different access to things you might not have seen before. I'll skip ahead here where we get a little bit more. Now we're in the middle of the stage. We can see actors, actresses coming out and off stage. We can see the view from the stage of the. Has anyone seen Lion King? Now I'm selling it. Yeah, it's a great show. It's beautiful. It's one of those that the opening scene will just make you cry from all the nostalgia, 90s nostalgia. But some really cool things are available. If you just type in 360, we'll look at the filters too. You can drop down and you can look at what 360 videos are available. So that's another kind of immersive view that's available. Let's get back in our presentation. Bouncing around a lot here. It gives us the opportunity to show the world, gives kids a bigger audience. Critical watch for discussion, so we can bring videos in to spark a discussion. We can create, share, and help others as well. We can demonstrate dangerous experiments that we might not get approval from our principals, right, to do in the classroom. Do we need to watch one? Let's see. So again, excitement, the presentation behind it, it's there. You get to demonstrate how liquid nitrogen is used. Yes, right? And so all of a sudden you're like, oh, no way, that's awesome. And then we can start talking about the whys behind it, right? And a little bit more than just here's the flashy cool part. That video is no longer available. We can experience history as well and different viewpoints from that. YouTube itself has over 100 or 1 billion users, 300 hours uploaded every minute of content. So what's great about the platform, and for those of you that use this, you know that it's not a static or stagnant kind of platform. If you're looking for resources or materials one year and it's not there, you could be the one to create it and put it there and start driving that content, or check again, and you might be able to find something new or a new perspective. Or there's some of those videos where like, man, I wish it just had this. It might be there in a month, 2 months, 3 months down the line. You can interact with those creators and say, hey, have you thought about adding a little bit more to this, and start that dialogue too. So there's a number of different ways that you can just continue to explore this, because again, uploaded and updated constantly. Every day there are also billions of views, and it is learning. So why use YouTube? One, we're bringing in videos that can relate to your lessons that you are teaching. Obviously, there's many educational channels. What I've switched, when I was choir director, there were certain choir directors that I followed who would put out different kind of warm-ups that were just nice to switch to, from hearing me every day and saying, all right, we're going to do this warm-up. And it varies it up a little bit too. It changes what I was doing in my routine. There might be something for that for like your bell ringers even too, right? Something different. I know for gym, there are a couple of different teachers out there who have the movement and activity channels too, which are really fun. But again, there's tons of educational videos. But again, my channels that I subscribe to and follow have switched more to more product lines. So like Pear Deck I follow. I follow the Google Classroom and Google Suites in general. And those kind of updates that keep coming through, I'm alerted to via their new uploads. And a lot of times they'll give you a walkthrough of that as well. This is a big one that I think is what's used most by a lot of teachers, and what they get excited about is, again, using those playlists for assignments as an extra resource for students to view. You could record class lessons or a video presentation to upload for future use for absent students. And then this is the big one. We are not technically limited in our Drive, in our Google Drive, of storing videos and things, and sometimes we share out a link if we have a video within there. But what's nice about storing video content on YouTube is that we don't have those same restrictions of how much you can upload to that database, right? You can only upload 12 gigs. There's a daily upload limit, so you can only upload, I think it's 15 videos within a day. And I only know that because I tried to just move over and migrate a lot of videos from one account to another, and said, sorry, you gotta wait. So there is a restriction how many per day you can upload, but again, it's accessible anywhere. You can make your videos then public, meaning I could type it in, search, and it'll pop up. You can make it unlisted, which means anyone can view it as long as you've provided a link or some way that they can click on the hyperlink to get to it and access it. They wouldn't necessarily be able to search and find it, or it won't pop up as here's a suggested video for you. And then private is that setting where it is just you that are able to view it. No one else is able to access this or view this. It's sort of just your storage and in your bank in that way. How to access it for best success. If you haven't done it yet or haven't been into it, if you log into your Google account, you're on the landing page of Google. You go to your waffle in the upper right-hand corner and click on more, and you'll navigate to the YouTube icon. You can sort of move around that, but and I'll show you that in a second. But why go this route? Well, accessing through your district account gives you more advantages to saving and uploading clips because we have more access than our personal accounts on our network. You probably know this when you're trying to look at a shared file from someone at school, and you're like, I don't have to request access. I'm on my school account. Well, it might have actually toggled to your personal account, and so you're requesting access from a personal account kind of deal. Same thing happens with me a lot. I know I sign in with my personal and my school district account on the same device, so sometimes it automatically flips, so I just got to pay attention which one I'm on, because if I'm on my personal, I'm not going to have the same kind of access I would if I was on my teacher account. So if you're taking note at home, I'm logged into Google here, I'm going to that waffle, and right here is that icon for YouTube. It might be down below the little divider because these are a lot of times the quick access of things that you most commonly use. But if you're like, hey, I go to YouTube every day, if you click, hard press, and hold, you can move this and you can sort these however you want. So I can move YouTube all the way up to the top if I want. So now that's there and automatically ready for me to press. Working way around YouTube. What's tricky is sometimes they don't use the most common language amongst themselves. So there might be times when you're in my channel, but my channel is actually my videos. So the question is, what are you viewing and what do you want to view? So we'll talk a little bit more about that, but the My Channel technically should be a spot where you're able to see and view everything that you've uploaded, things that you've liked, things that you've recently looked at, and it'll show you everything that you have between publicly listed, unlisted, and private. And then if you go to the actual My Channel to view what like public sees and what's outward facing, then you can get an idea of, oh, I only have half of my videos listed publicly. That's what's available for them to see and view. When we talk about subscriptions, these are when you subscribe. You've probably heard that in any YouTube creator sign off, like and subscribe for more content. What you're doing is you're subscribing to their channel, and anytime that they upload a new video, you'll get notification, or it'll be put in your stream of most recently uploaded videos, so that way you don't have to go search and try and find those folks again. Again, when you're uploading videos, you can either upload videos that you or your students have created. Again, there's unlimited storage space on our district's account. It's a great place to store screencastify videos. If you do a lot of how-tos, or if you find yourself doing that for absent students, if you're doing a mock-up run-through of a math problem or explaining sort of what the big project assignment is so they can go back and review, you can put this up on your channel and then share that link out. Again, similar to something you could do in my Drive, in Google Drive, and share that link out. But again, you're not taking storage space from your Drive if that's a concern for you. It's also true for your personal accounts too. The big one is we finally got access to, and this has been the last couple of years, right, where we can approve accessibility to channels, which then anytime we approve a channel gives access to any videos that channel uploads. I would hesitate to say just approve any channel right away, because again, you don't know what content they're putting out unless you view and review. And then on the flip side, you can do individual videos, which again approves that, and meaning that if a student searches for keywords and that video pops up, if it was approved, it will pop up in their search query. If it's not approved, they won't see anything there. So that's a big one for like Google Forms. If you're one who uses Google Forms quite a bit, you may have run into this where you can embed or insert a YouTube video within a question, and you're like, okay, good, got it, because it's usually a URL that you're putting in to attach that YouTube video into your Google Form. And then a kid's like, Mr. Pepper, I can't play the video back. Most of the time it's because it's not approved for student view. What's nice, again, with the student or teacher access, we're able to view everything and anything without approval, but students are not. So if it's something that you're putting out there and linking to students, or if it's in that Google form, you need to make sure that each video is approved. And because everyone has access to do that, a video that you approved and someone comes across and like, this isn't appropriate for anyone, they have the ability to remove access to that as well. So just be mindful. You probably want to check before you send any quizzes out or things like that, just to make sure, so you don't run into the hiccup of, oh, okay, yep, hold on, let me go back and approve. And again, the rule of thumb here is when you're approving something on a video, and especially if you're secondary side, this is accessible to anyone K-12. So the big rule of thumb is, yes, it might be good for an 11th grader, but is it at the default that a first grader might come across this and might not be appropriate for that individual? So just be mindful, and we're that always ask that question: is this the best resource for what I need to do? And be sure to view everything. I know there's a couple of teachers that get in the habit of like, I'll watch the first minute of the 7 or 10 minutes, and then all of a sudden at the very end is where the creator decides to get a little raunchy and all the questionable material comes out that way too. So please pre-screen what you share out as well. And that goes along with these key things to remember. Keep your video clips educationally related. Always ask the question, how does this fit in with your curriculum? Are you just clicking approve because it's a fun video, it's a cool video? There are some of those for bell ringers, for mindfulness matter moments, right? We bring those in. but always ask that question. How does it fit in with the curriculum? Is it okay to show something funny? Yeah, maybe. Get the students' attention. Again, just make sure it's appropriate. I'm going to go, we'll do the last 2 slides and we'll get into YouTube itself here. There are YouTube editors in here. They're pretty basic functioning. If you've ever, has anyone experienced YouTube Studio and the editor in there? Okay. There's not a lot of tools to really make things flashy. Essentially, it's cut, split, shorten, change your starting point, right? It's that kind of editing that's within there. So there are other tools that you can use that are probably a little bit more robust, like WeVideo offers a lot of free content, is a freemium tool, but there are a lot of things in there like transitions and title things that you can use that are a little bit more robust than the YouTube editor. We can customize our channel that we can see. Let's see, we don't need to do that one. The YouTube Live, so we'll show that one here too, but it does allow you to record while presenting live, and you have the ability to share that out if you want, so people can click on that link and you can see the live recording as it's going. Once you're done presenting that, it does store to your YouTube channel, and you can add a description and you can add all those keywords after the fact. We've used this for concerts, performances. We used it for the honor rolls at the end of the school year once, just to try it out. And there's a lot to that in the sense of you could use your webcam on your Chromebook if you want, but then that entails the webcam that's installed here and the microphone that's installed here. So then you're talking, well, should we do external microphones? Should we attach a webcam that's a little better? That's a whole different talk, but there are options and abilities to do that. And then again, YouTube Editor / Studio is constantly changing. You can edit some of those features, but it does take a long time to process those changes. If you are a video person and use video a lot in Google Drive or something like that, you'll know that when you drop something in and you share it right away, like, I can't see the video, it says it's processing. If it's a longer file, it's going to take a longer time for Google to do its thing to code, and in this regard, YouTube to do its thing to encode that. So it compresses the file and doesn't take as much space on their servers, yada, yada, yada. Long story short is sometimes it might not be immediate for a YouTube Live or even an upload. But again, those are sort of more bigger file kind of things. Like a 5-minute video should be a pretty quick turnaround on viewability. I dropped a number of different resources in here as well for possible ideas and other ways that we just don't have time to cover in here. But feel free to click on those, tab them, save them, and you might look through and say, oh, I like this idea, or maybe we'll give this one a try. But those are there for you as well. There's a lot more underneath, but we're going to just jump into it and explore here. So if you want to sort of like tab along with me on this, you can, or if you want to just watch and sort of see the navigation up here, that's fine too. But we already talked about how to access that. So we're going to go to we're logged in to our teacher account, clicking on the waffle, and I'm going to go to YouTube. And this is hiding all my stuff here, all the extra toolbars and things that pop up. This is sort of your landing page here. You can see I've got my account. So again, this is where I always check to make sure, okay, am I on mine or my personal? I've got my image attached, so I can do that. I know that. I have automatic filters up here that have just sort of been generated based on things that I've searched or videos that I've clicked on. And that takes keywords that are shared between those. So if you want to just sort of filter out of those, like, yeah, I sort of like, okay. I like the chill out music, so let's see what options I have if I want to bring kids in or students in. So those are quick tabs up here. You can see that expands out here. If I click this little caret, it'll move over with more options. Over here, we've got quick access points for our home, which is this section that we're looking at right now. The shorts, which is sort of newer to YouTube, they're trying to be more like Vine, Instagram, and TikTok-y, right? And you listen to any creators, they'll make some comment like, YouTube's really pushing shorts now. But that's their introduction to it. I haven't looked too much into it. I assume it is more of the TikTok content that's now just being shared out on YouTube as well. But there is original content that's being pushed out through that way. Any of your subscriptions that you have are going to be accessed there, and then your library of things. If you want to expand this out, I love how we have waffle and we got pancakes. So this is the pancake stack. If you click that pancake stack, that will pop this out on a wider screen. It just pops this a little bit more so you can see full view and a little bit more options in there as well. So if I click on those, like if I go to my subscriptions, you can see the different channels and things that they've gotten in here. So I've got a lot of Good Mythical Morning. I don't know if you watch those folks or know them. St. Paul. I've got Cara Fun for karaoke stuff for our reward days. Visit Quad Cities. There's a lot of subscription stuff in here, and more of like the Good Mythical was what they earned, although that one on the top was not appropriate if you caught that right away. Some other things to view on here. We'll get out of that menu. We'll come back to that. Here's one spot I want to draw your attention to is that little camera with the plus icon. If you click on that, you only have two options. You have upload video or go live. So if you have content already that you're just trying to move over to YouTube, you're going to click the upload video. So if I go through that, you'll see the next prompt that pops up. See how fast we're moving. You can drag and drop files onto here, or you can select files from your computer, and then it literally just goes in the next screen of naming the video. Are there keywords that you want to attach to it? And then do you want to add a, let's see what I've got. We got, here. I've got a 3D printer that was making a funky sound, so I've got that video here. And you can see just sort of the input here. This is uploading the video currently, but once that pops, then you'll see sort of the thumbnail it's going to generate automatically. I'm going to put in, it'll put in the title of the file that you upload. You can change that out to whatever you want. Adding your description here. This is the link that it will be always accessible if you want to share that out and get people directly to that. Once it uploads and generates, you have the option of selecting from one of the three thumbnail screenshots it grabs from your video. So like if this ends up being like right, you're in the middle of saying something in your lesson, you might want to click something else, right? Or if you're like trying to brand a science unit, maybe you've got a graphic that you just want to upload, you can do that too. You can see that with some of the Schneckloff videos that come out, right? And it's Davenport DCSD logo first. That's what they've done is they've embedded that on the front, or they might have actually just taken the first thumbnail that's generated because sure enough, they have that as the intro of the video too. If we want from here, we can attach a video to a playlist. So you can see, okay, before I move on, you can see how things are generated. This literally is just looking at the bottom part of the 3D printer to the point where the source of the sound is. But if I wanted to, I could click on this board. That's going to be hard to get used to. I could click and choose any one of these thumbnails to change what is the landing image. I can choose a playlist. So because I'm at different buildings, I have a number of different playlists just for buildings. We did a lot of PBIS videos that we uploaded from my account, and that's what's shared onto the websites. So I've got a Bluegrass, Walcott, etc. But this doesn't really fit any of those, so I'm going to create a new playlist from here. I'm going to new playlist, and I'm going to do tech issues. And I can set this to be public, private, or unlisted. Again, public being it's outward facing. Anyone that goes to my channel can see that playlist. They can click on it and see any videos attached with that. If it's private, only I can see it. If it's unlisted, people can access it as long as I provided a link for them. So we'll make it public for right now because why not? I'm creating that playlist, and you can see now that little checkbox is checked. Someone's going to ask the question, can you put it on multiple playlists? If it pertains to that, sure, you can put it on multiple playlists. It doesn't duplicate the video at all. It just makes sure that it is bookmarked within that playlist. Why playlists? Well, you can generate prescribed content and prescribed viewing for students or for staff PDs or of anything, so you can direct them to and not just say type in search here or produce a number of links. You can have one link that will get you access to all of those videos. One that's been sort of newer added is this audience. Is it intended for kids? Even though it might be something that I'm showing kids, I always put no on there because if you do, there are other restrictions that pop up because they want to limit what is shown to obviously younger kids. And there's additional things of, do you want to restrict age level on this? Obviously not necessarily applicable to us for the most part, but other YouTube creators are there. So I always have a no, it's not for made for kids. No, don't restrict video, especially if I'm sharing something that I know is going to go out to parents too. Just avoid some of that awkward permissions that may pop up. If I click next, I can add subtitles if I want, but there's also ability to do an automatic prescribed. It'll do a copyright check as well. So I mention that because if you are adding music to this, YouTube will automatically run that through their filters and say, oops, sorry, this is a Johnny Cash song. Either A, you can't use it and they'll remove the music from it automatically, or B, they've been better about it now where they'll say, yeah, it's copyrighted. We're still going to push ads on your stuff, but we're going to take the money from that, right? Which is better because now you can use that content, not really have to ask for permission for it. Yeah, drives you crazy, but I get it. I understand. So again, once I get to that last part of upload, I can either choose my setting on how I want it to be shared out. I'll have it public, and then I can schedule this if I want, etc., etc. Click publish, and that will be accessible on my channel. So that's one way of getting that. There's multiple ways to push it out. Again, that link is there for you to access immediately, or it will be available in your channel content as well. I'm going to go back because notice what happened after I uploaded. Where am I at now? I'm in YouTube Studio, which is sort of the creator side of things where you can go back and you can edit and change things within your page. So you can see all of my videos here that we have uploaded. Wildcat Way, active listening, right? So I can click into that. I can see some of the descriptions. I can change the title if I want. Maybe that video clip where they're both looking at the script, not at the camera. Maybe I want to change that to, oh, she looks like she's getting direction and a little bit frustrated on that, right? So you can change that and edit that. It's attached to my Bluegrass. I did have for kids. I'm going to switch that. And notice that my changes, now my save button is illuminated because I've made a change. And so if I click save on that, not on that screen, on here, gosh, I set that up yesterday too. All those changes take place and are now accessible. I am in the video details of this video specifically. So all of the side menu items have changed. And again, for more editing parts. So this is the detail things. If you want to check how it's doing, video analytics, if that's something that floats your boat, you can see it's viewed 27 times, about the same as usual. It'll tell you how long it's been viewed. If you want to actually edit said video, I do everything in Final Cut Pro, so I have a different editing software. So some of the things that are included in here you can't do, but you can see some of the things you can add in here. You can add blur to certain areas if you need to blur out faces or people or information. If you're displaying grades of something and or a walkthrough and you have grades displayed or student information displayed, you could blur that out through this editor and add audio that's already in. And you can splice and change and edit all within this section here. Again, it's not very robust, so I would actually strongly recommend something else. And then just upload to YouTube. Video comments, if anyone's commented on anything, you can do things here of clicking held for review and published. My default channel is held for review, so that's something that is nice. So in case someone jumps on and says, F this, it's not public, it's not showing yet until I click approve for that. Copyright, we talked about there. And then video settings. There's one that I wanted to show, but we're not there yet. Okay, so I'm going to go back out. So if I want to go back to all my videos, I can use that arrow there in the top left corner. And now I'm back to that YouTube Studio part where it displays all of my videos that are uploaded at quick glance. One thing I wanted to show on this as well, if I click on here and I go to, nope, I don't want to go more actions. Let's go subtitles. All right, so in this menu here on the left, I've got subtitles. And you can see that I started this, and this would have been better as I was uploading these each individually. But this one has 2 languages for subtitles. You could go in and you could plug in everything that's said if you want to be compliant. Or let's go to this Gaga Ball demo because we can see there's 0 subtitles available. So if someone were to play this and click the CC, nothing would pop up. So I'm going to go to set language, and I'm going to go to scroll down to United States. Nope, English United States, sorry. English United States. Make default for my channel, which you would assume would apply to everyone and everything. It might be for newly updated. I'm going to confirm, and you can see that there are 2 that are published. So we've got English United States, and then there's an automatic English one that pops up as well. So now if I go back to that video and play that, now it pops me into the frontward facing YouTube. Automatically generated. I didn't type any of that. Another. I love this. Like, it's so sunny. The entire video. He's Popeye. But that's automatically generated. If you're part of the AI excitement, that's AI in use, right? It's listening, it's processing, and it's doing the voice to text, speech to text in the background. So it takes one of those extra steps out of the way. So that's nice for accessibility. Most videos that you will see have closed caption already with that. If you're uploading your own, that's another thing to check too, just so that way you have that ability and know that if you're in the middle of class, you got a kid who's hard of hearing, that's available. All right, let's get out of the studio. Let's come back to YouTube. The other thing is if we wanted to go live, I will recommend that if you're doing any live events, I don't have a broadcast that I'm doing a live event. I know that might sound backwards, but like for the honor assembly, I'm just going to put that as an example at Subsoil when we tried this out, right? We were testing it out. It's not one that I'm going to publish out to like all students. Hey guys, at the assembly today, make sure you're all on your best behavior because we're broadcasting this live to everyone that's logging in. Yeah. That's an open invitation to just say, hey, I get to do something that's going to be broadcast to everyone. So make sure that if this is something that you're going, it's being filtered out or sent to those channels that it needs to go to. So if it's what your parent contact is, if it's going to parents, try and isolate it to just that, right? That's the only sort of big warning I would give you on that. But the same thing is true here. It gives you the same idea of setup of title, description, how do you want to go live? So you're choosing which camera. I only have a webcam connected to this one. I don't have an external camera, but you would choose those. You can add a thumbnail prior. You can choose what playlist this will go to. And then once you stop that live presentation, all of those details will automatically upload to your channel. All right, I'm going to go again back to just the tube. I always like restarting fresh on the home page here rather than swinging around because again, this is your YouTube home, but if you start doing the creator stuff, it probably most likely will pop you into that YouTube studio part. So let's talk about playlists. So let's say I want to create a playlist of walk-in classroom music, and I just want to change it up. I have go-tos that I always like to have, and they just don't pop up, so I want to add them to my playlist. Down below here, as I scroll a little bit, you can click on those 3 dots. Oh, of course, you're not going to. Where did you go? Oh, I'm in a smaller view too, so that might be part of it. My widescreen, half of the stuff covered over here. We should be a save. So if you click the 3 dots here, and you'll see a bunch of menu options because this person allowed download, and you can clip those videos. Some authors don't allow you to do that, but apparently this author does. So it sort of allows you to, if you're in TikTok world, like stitch things to other videos, right? So you got an ability to like pull their content, edit it, and then do something else. I believe that's what the clip is. I haven't experimented with that, so don't quote me on that one. But if I click that save button, sure enough, my playlist pop up. Sorry. I like it. The playlists pop up of everything that's associated with mine, so you can see those same same building folders, and the one that I just popped up was tech issues, so that's there as well. Again, I can click on multiple playlists to attach that to that, or I can create a new playlist as well straight from this interface. So I'll do entrance music, and we'll make this public and create. I'm going to come back because the edit with Edpuzzle, if you don't know that one, that's a pretty cool one too. And I'm hoping we got some time, which we're running out of. So I want to make sure I get a couple of playlist things in for you. So I'm back on the home page. Let's check out some of those playlists. So again, this is the little pancake. I'm expanding the pancake. I have a show more here. Here are all of my playlists. So I'm going to go entrance music. And here is that playlist. And it will list all of the videos that I add to this. If I want to change my thumbnail video to something different, I can do that. Something maybe a little bit more interesting for kids to click on. Depends on what you feel.
I have a question. Do you have to be in the video to create a playlist?
So you can do one of two things. So you can, well, yeah, otherwise from there, let's see if we can search for something from this. I don't think we're going to. No. So whatever video you're viewing, you should be able to attach that to the playlist from the video that you're watching. But from here, I don't have an add. Well, add video, and let's see. So I click those three buttons. Okay. So it has. So the three buttons here. We pop up. It should give us the most recent, or no, this is on my channel, but we can search YouTube or paste a URL within that if we want. So you don't have to go searching around for that individual video. If you're browsing and you find a video, you can do the three dots and add it that way. But yes, you're right. Similarly to Google Forms or Google Slides, when you type in like frogs. Now here are like the top hits for frog videos. And if I click on that, add video. And let's see if we can do multiple at the same time. We can. So let's say I want all three of these to add video. And sure enough, here they are. Now I can also sort these. So you see the little two pancake stack. I can rearrange and sort the order. And then here's one that's really cool too. Again, when I click the three dot, you see the option where it says collaborate. This one's a fun one. Let's say we're a science team and we're creating a unit and we want to do we have certain videos that we want to all grab or we're all searching for. Collaborators can add videos to playlists, add new collaborators. If you copy and share this link out with folks, they can click on that and then they will become a collaborator on this playlist, aka that playlist option is something that they can drop things into. So you didn't create the playlist, you're just now a part of it. That will be available. In some instances, we found that you have to accept that. So you might see a blue invitation or you've been invited to this playlist to collaborate, click yes, and you'll have access to that. You'll also see who is part of that collaboration and who's been invited and who's accepted that. And then even cooler, when they add videos to this, you can see it'll say posted by or added by, and then whoever that teacher was, and it'll list their account like that. So you can say, oh, I don't know about that one. Oh, that was by Mr. Malik. Malik, why'd you add this one on here, right? Or, hey, you watch this one. What is this one about? I don't really know, right? So maybe you could save time on that one too and have those conversations as well. But that's a cool way of building and curating those playlists where it's not just you and you have some of that back and forth dialogue. If you want to share just the playlist out, so let's say we've created and curated this, sure enough, that little share arrow, you can click and it'll give you all your options and all your possibilities. The direct link will take people to this. You can embed it if you've got a Google site for your classroom. You can embed that into a page on there and it'll just show up directly on that web page as well. And then I realized that I didn't share it, so let's go back to it. Actually, can I get into frogs quick? Okay, let's see. I'm looking for the banner down below. It's not, it might be because of the channel. So let's go frogs and toads and let's see if that's going to pop up. Okay, so of course, different network is presenting different things here. Let's see if the channel is, sorry, doing some quick edits here. Okay, so I just clicked on the channel itself. I'm on Hey, Guess What? With here, there's a couple things to note. This little grayed out part here, at least I'm on the channel page. I can subscribe to this channel, so again, that comes up in my feed and what I do, but this channel is not approved for Davenport schools, so that means that kids, students, if they were to search for, hey, guess what, the channel or any of these videos, they're going to be able to access that. The only question would be is if someone approved one of the individual videos on there, that'd be a different story. You say, hey, you know what, I use this channel all the time, I look at the content and know it's going to be good and valuable information, I can click approve here, and then everything on that channel is searchable if you go by speed. Okay. If you want just the individual, and this wasn't popping up 2 seconds ago, and it might just be the way that I'm connected to the projector, but down below, there should be a button here. If it's not approved, it would say approved, just like the channel we saw up top. You can click that, and then it would be viewable for students. Right now, it says watchable by Davenport, so someone has approved this. And again, because of the way that my projector and computer are talking with each other, the remove isn't there. But on a desktop, on your laptop, you will see remove, or I don't think it says make unwatchable. But there's a button there that you can say, you know what, this isn't really appropriate content for Davenport kids. We're going to click that, and it'll unapprove that video and not searchable anymore. I know that was a quick crash course. Do you have any questions for me? Again, there are other resource tabs in there. All the things that we've covered are also available in there. We didn't cover the Edpuzzle. What's really neat about that is that can take any video that you have that you find, and if you click edit with Edpuzzle, it'll pop up into its own thing. You might have to register for that, aka just sign up with your Google teacher account. But you can do multiple choice or drag and drop or short form response questions and embed those into the video. So as students watch and it gets to a certain point that you put a question marker in there, it'll prompt them and they have to answer before they can move on with the rest of the video. So sort of a cool little add-on. It's not YouTube specific, but they've integrated so you can use that in there. Again, if you got more questions or anything, please send them my way. I will dismiss you so you can use the bathroom, move to the next session. But thank you for coming. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Hope this gives you something to work with. I love the collaborator function. I think it's cool.
So, first of all, thank you, because I got a lot of that.
Good.
I created my own channel like during the COVID days.
Yeah.
I knew I teach in Madison, so if I didn't have PE equipment at home, I knew my kids didn't have it.
Yeah.
So so when I did that, I actually created mine separate from the school account because I just never knew.
Yeah.
I didn't want to lose the content and
Right.
everything else. But
I know, I get that totally.
but, I've never gone into you're talking about the playlist, because now I'm up to 88 videos, and most of my stuff is iMovie. Vocaroo I use, for voices and Google Slides, and I put, created it all, and then I uploaded it with screencasts on it.
Yeah.
But I've never gotten into the different playlists that you're talking about, because once you get, I could do
Here's the very
skill stuff, and then a lot of the music are creation compositions for my son that he created.
Oh, cool.
So, and he has a channel, so I could link those for him, his playlist as well.
Yeah.
But I'd never known about the closed captions, because some of them, because at the beginning when I first started doing it, I was doing,
and you have to plug and play,
and then upload it and stuff like that. But I never knew that. So I was like,
and I was going to say that edit with Edpuzzle. Sorry, different from what I was saying, but it is incredible where things have gotten to, because it's able to recognize that speech to text, right, or do that speech to text. The Edpuzzle stuff, you can go through and do a create AI generated question prompts based on what the video is. And I tried that out with an instrumental piece only. Well, it's a choir piece, but there's not anything necessarily explicit with, here's what you need to know about melody and harmony, right? There's not an educational piece to that. So I was curious what it was going to generate. It generated 12 questions that were not only, what about the solo in this section? But it also did stuff that visually were in the screen. What's up with the person sitting on top of the skyscraper? So it's looking at the video content too and assessing things to assess and check, which is just sort of mind blowing in and of itself, you know.
Because I've never gotten to.
Oh, I'm not going to do that. Sorry. So like, let's say I'm going to go to Eric Whitaker. Fly to Paradise is what I used for that. And so this is the piece. I'm just going to go into edit with. So I'm jumping into it already. It's going to take the link over. But I mean, like, this is what it is. It's the music, and then they got just this generated song, but everyone's images that are singing and participating in this stuff. Edpuzzle is sort of a separate account with this. But sure enough, it's popping up within. And you can do a voiceover tab. Just, do you want to edit and cut this, or do you want to add questions? You can add your own, or you can do the generate, and we'll do both, open-ended and multiple choice. So it just did 3 so far. You only have a track and a solo. Let's give me a description of the mood, feel of this piece, right? Do you feel you could submit a video yourself singing to be a part of a virtual choir? And that's part of the virtual choir that we're talking about. And it's not showing some of the other things that it had the last time, but it's crazy in that regard that it does analyze.
So like I could do my own videos, and it would analyze all those videos.
It could, yeah,
generate
it could, or
those.
you could generate your own too. So like I could type in here multiple choice question, and let's say right here at this point, I'm going to do a multiple choice. Type in my multiple choice. How many voices are included? Then type an answer. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Need to have at least one right answer, so this will be our right answer. Save. And sure enough, now when it hits that marker, this is what the kids will be prompted with, and they choose and select. If I finish, this is what they actually see, right? And so if they push play, goes through, and you can push this in through Google Classroom too. So like if someone's absent, but if someone was absent or you were absent and you were sending this off for like a sub, right, you got a 30-minute video, 2 clips that you're having them go over, you could embed those within and get that graded back feedback, or see what they've done rather than write on paper. So it's another way to sort of augment that. Although now it's not popping up, maybe. There we go. Okay, so now it popped up the prompt. Here's the opening question. And you can rewatch up to that point if you missed it. And if you submit it, then you can continue on. So again, sort of a cool way to collect that information. But yeah, you could do that with yours as well. So if you like clicked on a video, it pops up down there. Again, there's the remove viewing, but channel. Which is obviously good.
Yeah,
but
I proved myself.
But yeah, there you go. But if you do the
End of everything.
yeah, now the catch is